What's going on, guys? You know what, man? I'm gonna wrap this up with the evolution, the evil Lution, Satan's little rendition of how things were created. I'm gonna wrap it up now, man. I found another way to present this, and it'll be my last one for sure. I'm almost positive. Maybe not, but I'm almost positive. Let me give you another path to look at this whole situation, guys, and how ridiculous evolution is as opposed to creation from a god. Okay, let's start out. Evolutionists believe that it all began with a single cell out in the ocean. Okay, they use the ocean because the ocean is an environment where a cell might survive. Okay, you take a cell out of a body and you put it out underneath the sun in the dry, and it's not going to live, it's going to die. Okay, so it's got to be in a certain environment. Okay, so this is why they use the ocean. Okay, but I want to show you guys something here that I just, another way to look at it. Let's start out with one creature in the ocean. Okay, now there's billions and billions and billions, male and female, male and female, male and female. I just want to start out with one, and we're going to show you what I'm talking about here. A dolphin. Okay, so somehow a single cell out in the ocean floating around created a dolphin. Okay, so let's start with that. Okay, so the cell, number one, how was it surviving in the ocean? Okay, in the body, you must absorb food in order for your cells to survive. That goes with any creature, doesn't matter what it is. It must absorb food to feed these cells, or they're going to die. Do we all agree on that? Absolutely. So out in the ocean, these cells had to have been absorbing nutrients from the water. Okay, there you go. So we're going to go with that. Okay, thriving off the water. This is how they were doing in the ocean. So anyway, let's take this dolphin that I'm speaking about. Okay, so where do we start, guys? Did the cells start dividing and multiplying? Did we start with the tail section first? Did we start with the midsection? Did we start with the head? Did we start with the internal organs? Let's say the digestive system, the flesh, the plasma, the blood, the skeleton, just like you and me, the way God made it. Everything's got a skeleton. Or did it start with the heart? Okay, tell you what, man, let's start with the heart. So all these cells floating around in the ocean got together and started coagulating and sticking together to form a dolphin heart. Okay, so now here we have a heart. After the course of 100 million years, now we got a heart that's formed, and it's just floating around out in the ocean, and it's pumping seawater. It's a seawater pump. Okay, so it's floating around, but it's a dolphin heart. Okay, so over the course of another 50 million years, then all of a sudden we get the digestive system. These cells, they're thinking now. They're programmed by themselves. They're thinking, okay, well, we're going to create this creature. So now we're going to create the digestive system and everything, the spinal cord towards the rear and maybe the rear fin. So now we got a half a dolphin after half a billion years, okay? So look out there. Here's a half a dolphin out there swimming around. Maybe the skin's on it by now. Maybe it's not. Maybe you got exposed flesh, whatever's going on. It's just out there flapping around. And all the cells, this half a dolphin is surviving off of seawater. Okay, because every single cell that's in that body of that dolphin is absorbing the seawater in order to eat. Because it doesn't have a head yet. It doesn't have a mouth. It doesn't have teeth. Okay, we're working on that. Stay with me. So then the midsection gets created. Okay, now you got the lungs and you got the ear hole on top and you got all the other organs, the pancreas and the gallbladder and everything going on in there. Everything's getting placed in there just like every other creature. Okay, and then pretty soon we get the head with the brain, the water up here that controls everything. Now you got the computer. The computer's being built by the cells that are going to, tell this fish when danger's approaching, when it needs to eat, when it needs to pee, when it needs to do this or that or sleep. So within a course of 1 billion years, okay, now we have a full dolphin, okay? And over the course of that 1 billion years, that thing thrived off of seawater, okay? It was not eating anything yet because there was nothing else created, okay? Okay, no other fish, no other jellyfish. But then over the course of another billion years, all these other fish started appearing, from cells, same process. And then one day, the dolphin decides that, well, I need to eat those fish in order to survive. Okay? The seawater that had sustained its life for billions of years was no longer good enough. It had to start eating other creatures in order to survive, or else it would die, just like you and me. So, there you have it, guys. You take a dolphin today, you take away its food, for a week, for a month, whatever it is, it's going to die because you're not feeding the cells. Okay? But over the course of a billion years, that seawater was just more than sufficient to sustain half of that dolphin, a quarter of that dolphin, and all the internal organs and everything that was being created slowly but surely as it progressed, through its course. Yeah. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, are you following me on that? You see how ridiculous that could actually be. So you take a dolphin today, and again, as I've mentioned, if the water temperature changes, if the food source goes or something like that, red tide, anything, these dolphins, they beach themselves. I mean, if any little thing in their habitat goes crazy, okay, they could be dead within a day. But yet, they survived this process of over a billion years, just living off the water, to become what they are from a single cell. And there you have it. Okay, it went a billion years to become that dolphin. It went through all that. Let's say there were earthquakes. Let's say there was a meteorite. Let's say there were acidic water, all kinds of acid water and everything going on in the ocean, volcanoes, you name it, man. All the obstacles those little cells had to go through as they were floating around in the ocean for billions of years. They survived, no problem whatsoever, man. They did not only survive, they thrived, okay? Dude, not a problem. It took them a while, but they finally made it. But now if you take that same dolphin today and he doesn't have any food, and one little thing changes, boom, he's dead. Okay? Dead. Can't handle it. Can't make any, he can't adapt, to certain little things, whatever. Anyway, guys, you get my point. You see what I'm talking about. Okay? The impossibility of it all. What I have just explained. Okay? So, evolution is a laughing stock. It really is, man. I mean, these people who don't believe in God, this is all they have to tell you that God doesn't exist. They're searching for ways to explain how life was created and how all these creatures and man and woman, male and female, and this is all they can come up with. This is the best they got. Okay? It's ridiculous. It's absolutely absurd. I mean, there's no way. It did not happen that way. Anyway, guys, all right. I think I'm done here. Said my piece. But I think I'm going to end my evolution with this particular video. And I'll just leave it at that. All right, guys. Peace out. Take care. God bless.